Okay, can everyone see my screen? Just let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen. Your voice is breaking up a little bit.
Okay, no, let me just use mine. Please, is it better now? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, it's better.
Can you hear
Thank
me
you.
now?
Thank you.
Okay, good. All right. So, but did you hear what I was saying before? Probably let me just go back to what I was saying before. So I'll just explain to you guys what we've done in the past 3 weeks. I explained to you guys we've treated a lot in Python. In fact, you should call yourself by now. Is it better now? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, it's better.
Can you hear me now?
Thank you.
Okay, good. All right. So, but did you hear what I was saying before? Probably let me just go back to what I was saying before. So I'll just explain to you.
Can you try clicking the arrow? That arrow that is the arrow button next to the mic, the microphone. No, the microphone where you mute and unmute when you want to speak. At the bottom, the microphone where you mute and unmute when you want to speak. So you select, yeah, exactly, the arrow there. Yeah, exactly. Click on it, then select a different speaker and a different microphone. Okay. All right, so it's probably going to join back. Okay, so I'm going to just drop an announcement later on in the announcement channel, but I'll just like say it here now before your mentor joins back. I shared a YouTube channel link, the Inspire Hope Initiative YouTube channel link earlier this week. And while classes are going on, they are being recorded live. So that means that after the class, you can go to the channel, and then you'd be able to view the recording, right, of the class that was held. So this would make it easier for all the mentees to be able to keep up to date with what's being taught in class, and then your mentor um doesn't have to keep resharing and uploading the recordings anymore. So whenever you want to go back to the video lessons, you can just go to the YouTube channel. I created a playlist for each of the track, and after the live it's going to show up on that playlist, and you can just like go through the video. All right. Adewale, can you try saying something now?
Can everyone hear me now?
Well, yeah, we can hear you now. Though it buffered at the start, but it sounds like it's okay.
Okay, I'm really sorry about that. Apparently, my I was the cause of it all. I mean, I opened the YouTube live down, so I was getting confused that where was the audio coming from? Apparently, my YouTube was working in the background. That was where the glitch was coming from. Sorry about that. Okay, so let me just go over what I've been saying. So I said that in the
Hold
past
on
three
a
weeks,
sec. But are you still live streaming? Can you confirm if you are still live streaming?
yeah, I'm live streaming. Yes.
All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So guys, in the past 3 weeks, we've talked about a lot, and I was saying that you guys can call yourself a Python developer or a Python programmer already, because you've learned about what a Python can be used for. You've learned about different data types, Python for data science. Beg your pardon. So you've learned about different data types. That's when we treated strings. We talked about integers, floats, talked about even dictionary, lists, arrays. We talked about different libraries in Python. We treated the NumPy, the pandas. Then I explained to you guys how to write a function, how you can write a function, and why you need to learn why you need to write a function. Difference between a function and a normal code. Then I explained to you that with a function, you don't have to keep writing your code all over again. When you write a function, you can, using the function name, you can reuse the function in a different code. And I gave you guys an example. Let me share my screen now. I gave you guys example of how a function is. Yeah, this is a function. Please, I hope everyone can see my screen. I'm currently in my Jupyter notebook. So I told you guys how to write a function. This is a function. If the name of this function is age check. Then we also explained to you guys what a conditional statement is. This is a conditional statement when you are checking true or false. In this conditional statement, we said if age is greater than or equals to 18, that our program should print you are an adult. But if age is not greater than and it's not equals to 18, it should print you are a minor. So basically, when you're writing a conditional statement, there's always a true or a false. So when your conditional statement is true, it's going to run the first, the first output you gave your command. Then this else is saying that if this conditional statement is false, run this. Then I also explained to you guys what a for loop is. A for loop is generally used when you want to iterate so many things and you don't want to keep writing the same code all over again. Then you just use a for loop. With a for loop, you just need to give it the starting point and the ending point, right? And it's going to help you to run your program. Then we went ahead to talk about what a list. This example of a list. I told you guys that whenever you want to use the NumPy library, you have to import it after installation. So always remember that before you can use any library in data science, you have to install the library, then you have to import the library inside your environment. Don't forget that. And this is an example of a list. Then I also told you guys about how you can differentiate between a function, a list, and a dictionary by just their the kind of bracket they are using. When you see a square bracket, it's always a list or a list of lists, but when you see a square bracket, know that you are dealing with a list. Then I also explained to you guys what a dictionary is. A dictionary is when you have a key and a value. Always remember, if you don't see a key, that means it's not a dictionary. In this example now, this is a dictionary of list because we have a list. This is a list, and we have another list here. But these two lists, they are inside a dictionary. Why is it a dictionary? Because it has a key. This is a key, followed by a column. This is a column, and this is the value. So the key is name. The value of this name is list of names, right? This is another key, age. The value of this key is what? List of ages from 25, 30, and 35. Then I told you guys why we use data frame to import our data. With data frame helps you to convert your data into a form of Excel. I know if you have used Excel very well, so data frame helps you to to put your data into an Excel kind of format. And with data frame, you can mix both strings and numbers together. As you can see here, we have your name and you have your age. Then I also told you guys about some little functions in data science. You can only use this .ed, right? This data frame is a pandas data frame. So you cannot use this pd.data frame without installing pandas. You get? I explained to you guys why we import pandas as PD. It's just a traditional way. If you want, you can just import pandas. And instead of having PD here, you write your pandas, right? It's just whatever suits you. Then this is a function. I explained to you guys whenever you see um, a name like something like this with a bracket like this, know that is a function. So, and this function is used to print the first 5 rows of your data set. You can see just 3 here because we only have 3 rows at maximum. But when you're dealing with millions of data sets, most likely you will not want to print all of them out in your environment so it doesn't get messy. So you can just do df df.ed, and it's going to print out the first 5 rows. Please, I hope everyone understands what we've done so far, how we converted our data frame. I explained that whatever you see by your left side, they are your variable names. It can be anything. You don't have to write what I'm writing. You can decide to not write df and write something else. These are variable names. Df is a variable name. Even this data is a variable name. You can name it anything you desire, right? Then I said, how do you check if your data set has missing data or not, right? I said this is another function, df dot is none. I explained to you guys how it makes sense. It's none means that you are checking if none means nothing, right? You're checking if there is nothing there. So you're checking if each row and each column is, can we find anything there? So it's like a boolean kind of a boolean kind of function. So you're getting either true or false. That's why you're seeing it. We have false because obviously we don't have any missing data. Then this is a numpy. We're trying to import numpy here. This is a list of lists. I explained this one as well. I said you can have a list of lists. That means you have a list. So you have like 2 lists inside a bigger list. Then you can convert this list into an array. This is an example of a 2x4 array. That means you have 2 rows and 4 columns, right? Okay, ignore this. Okay. So then the last class that we did, I taught you guys how to also import your data sets into your pandas data frame, which is like what you'll be doing a lot of times. You are going to be dealing with a lot of databases online. in cloud, AWS, Google Cloud Platform, MongoDB. So most of the time, you are going to be importing, you're going to be reading, you're going to be reading your data set inside of your pandas data frame, right? So this one example of how you do it. I told you guys you just use this function. The function for reading your data set into your pandas data frame is read underscore CSV. Please, I'm very careful about this. This is because our data set is CSV. If it's a different file format, then you will just replace it by the file format. Do you understand? So because in this regard, we are importing a .csv data for file format. That's why we are using pd.read underscore CSV. Please, if you are not getting me, just unmute yourself and speak so I can just explain to you at any point. So that's what we did here. We're able to import our sample underscore data. We did that and we printed out our data. So we printed our data of different columns. This is rank, this is movie, this is year, and this is rating. Then we try to do df.ed to print out the first 5 columns. We also try to do df.tail to print our last 5 columns, right? Um, so yeah, so that's what we've done basically. When so today's class, let me share my screen again. I hope everyone is hearing me. Okay. So today's class is on exploratory data analysis. Like I said, this is where everything we've learned in the past 3 weeks is to prepare you for today's class. So if you don't understand what we've done in the last classes, then you might find it difficult to follow along, right? So very soon I'm going to be showing you guys, we're having a practical class. So what is EDA? EDA is a step in data science that you cannot do without. I explained this in our first class where I was telling you about the stages in your data analysis, when you collect your data, when you try to pre-process your data, when you try to clean your data, when you try to find outliers, when you try to find duplicates, when you try to, do feature engineering. So all of these things, they are under EDA. So my first slide says, okay, this is the objective of this class. We try to understand what EDA is and why it's important. We'll learn about pandas, seaborn, and matplot library. We'll look at how to identify trends, outliers, patterns. Then we'll try to apply EDA to real world application. So what is EDA, right? So EDA is a process of examining data to summarize their main characteristics, often using visual method. So what is trying to tell you that EDA is like the word says, exploratory data analysis. You are trying to see what is going on in your data set. You're trying to look at, do we have missing data? What are the trends? Do we have more female? Do we have more male? Um, do we have outliers in our data set? Do we have duplicates? Do you understand? So the EDA is just a more of um sorry, excuse me. So EDA is basically how you can examine your data set to summarize their main characteristics. So why do we need to learn EDA? What will EDA help us with? It will help us to understand the data set structure. It will help us to detect data quality issues. It will help us to uncover trends and relationships. It help us to make decisions about feature engineering. Please, is that clear? So that's basically what EDA is. EDA is one of the most important steps in data analysis. Like I said, if the end goal of all your data analysis is to derive insights from your data to explain to your stakeholders, to your business owners, or to your friends, it is equally important to make sure that the steps you take to get to that end goal is very important, is very accurate. Because imagine if I didn't do my EDA properly, and at the end of the day, I'm telling a business owner that okay, um, for December, it's I'm recommending that they buy more of sugar cane, for instance, and that is a very wrong recommendation because most likely, let's say for instance, I had not properly analyzed my data. I did not check for missing data. I did not check for outliers. I did not check for duplicates. So and those things can 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 result to having a wrong recommendation. So if you want to be a good analyst, if you want to be a good data scientist, a good data engineer, a good business analyst, you must take this EDA very, very serious. So then let's look at the EDA workflow. So for EDA workflow, the first thing you do is to view the structure of your data. It's always very important. Like I said, there are times where you are working in an environment where they have data in different databases. Probably they have all their data is not in one place. So you are getting, let's say, transactional data from a different place. You are getting user profile from a different place. You are getting their location from a different place. So you at the end of the day, you have to bring them all together into one place. So it's very important that you make sure that before you can even make them together, they have to be in the same data structure, right? So that's why it's very important to view our structure, the structure of the data. You see examples very soon. Then we'll go ahead to undo missing values. There are various ways to undo missing values. I was explaining to you in the first slide that if your values are little, let's say you only have like one missing value in your data set, it's possible that you can just ignore it and just remove the rows, right? But in a case where you're dealing with in your data set, you have about 100. Obviously, you cannot ignore them. You have to find a way to undo missing data. Now, these are the steps of how you carry out your EDA workflow. Then you have what we call univariate analysis. Univariate analysis is when you have just you want to see the comparison on just one data column. Let's say, for instance, we have a data column of sex. In sex now, we have both male and female. You might want to check the distribution of male and female. So that's like univariate analysis. We also have bivariate analysis. That's when you have two columns. You are comparing between two data columns. Please, when I say columns, you guys understand what I mean, right? Columns are vertical, while rows are horizontal. So we also have correlation analysis. Then before you go into your insights, summary, and preparation of modeling. Yeah, so for this class, we're going to still be using that same data I gave you guys. Let me try and import it into my so let me try and import it. I'm not sure I've I think is this the data set I see? Okay, you know what? Probably we'll just use this one. Telcom customer churn. Let's see this. So let me try and import this now into my. So what's the name? Telco customer churn. I might get an error if it's not inside the right part. So let me see if coming. PDF. Okay. So no such file or directory. Yeah, that's because my file is inside my download, and so I'll go back to my home. This is where my file is. It's inside my download. Let me from file locations view. Please, I want you guys to try as well to import so we can do it together. So I want to make sure that my file that I want to use, I'm getting the right environment for it. So if I don't give it to the right part, then I'm not going to be able to. Coming. Not tried it before. Let me see if it will work. Okay. We just try and bring it here. Okay, let's check our file. Our file should be here now. Okay, this is our file. So we must make sure that we copy the way it is exactly. Okay, so okay, so guys, can we try this? Can we try this? So what you will do is that for this Jupyter environment, usually most of the files you are using is being kept under your. If you go to your computer, if you're using Windows like I am, you go to your system, this PC, and you go to your local disk, then find your users. So when you get to your users, then click on the user you are using currently. So this is where you'll find, this is where it's probably installed. For me, but I think for most people too, is probably most likely installed in the same environment. So whatever data you want to use, and you don't want to be going through the stress of having to start looking for the right part where they are, download, just come and paste the data here. So when you paste the data here, you can just directly call the data as I've done here. Please, is it clear? Let me check if anybody is talking. Please, I don't know if that is clear. So that's one of the easiest way you can easily call your data into your pandas data frame. Just go to your to the to where you installed your anaconda, right? So to the environment, or let me say the folder where it's been installed. For me now, I installed my local disk and in my user, which is my name. So every data I'm using, all of them, they are here. So if I paste any of my data sets here, I won't go through the need of looking for the paths and the likes. So the moment I paste them there, it's going to appear here, right? Even though you can change your environment and you can come here and change your route and all of that. Probably in the next class, I'll just try and explain that. So basically, what we've done now is that we've imported pandas data frame. Like I said, it's very important before you use your PD in anything, you must import your pandas data frame. The reason why I didn't go ahead to convert this into a data frame again, like I said, your data frame, the one that we normally use, let's say I do data equals to PD dot data frame. No, no, no. Let's say I do this data equals to PD dot data frame. Excuse me. And I put my df here. And I print data. So you can see that it's almost like the same thing that we have here, almost like the same thing, right? So this one has converted them into a pandas data frame, into your pandas data frame. Now into now you the moment you see that you have observations, you have this kind of numbers here. That means your values, your data has been converted into your pandas data frame, which is different from what you have here, which is almost the same thing. Like I said, almost the same thing, or it's almost the same thing. So whenever you are working with an Excel file, you can still go ahead and and use it directly without converting to your data frame. It's still going to work. It's only when you're working with JSON, you're working with JSON, you're working with dictionary. That's when it's compulsory for you to convert your data into a pandas data frame. So let's go ahead. Where's our slide? Yeah, so for our slide now, we've done this. This is the first step in your EDA. This is where you try to check your data overview. you try to import your data sets, you try to check the first 5 rows. Why do we, have you ever asked yourself, why do you need to even check your first 5 rows? Basically, I do this just to check my headings, just to know what I'm working with. Just I'm working with customer ID, I have my gender, I have my senior citizen, I have my partner dependent column, I have my tenure, I have my phone service, multiple lines, internet service, online security, data protection, tech support, streaming TV, streaming movies, contract, paperless billing, so on and so. Then we have our churn. Please can okay, let me now ask question. The reason why we have this churn here, churn, what this data is trying to do, or what this data is giving us, wherever you see churn means that um, for this company now, they are losing their customers. So when they say customer churn, that means it's the ability for you to retain your customers after they purchase or after they patronize you. So when your customer comes to buy a product from you and they don't come back again, and if from every 10 customers that come, only 5 of them returns back to buy again, that means that's you can know your customer churn from there. Do you understand? So you know if a particular product the customer comes back or not. So what they are doing here, this churn is just checking that okay, for this product, churn, we have no or yes. It's like saying, did the customer come back? No. For this one too, did he come back? No. This one, he came back, he came back. So when you see churn is just like a way of checking. You can check your dictionary, or if you type it online, you just type what is churn. Um, So in business context, churn refers to the rate at which your customers stop using a company's product or services. Do you understand? So it's basically how you want to know that okay, people your churn rate is very low, which is good. So if a company they say, oh, our churn rate is low, it shows that their customers are coming back. That means for every customer that purchase from them, they are able to retain their customers. But if your churn rate is high, that means people are just coming, they'll buy your probably you're selling you're selling bottled water, and people just come buy bottled water, they don't come back again next month. That means you should find out ways how can you retain your customer. This is what a data analyst will do. This is what you recommend that oh, after I analyze your data set, I discover that we have a high chain rate. So now they will ask you, how can we reduce our churn rates? What can we do? This is when you start digging in, looking at what are the factors, what are the variables from your data set. You start looking at what are the characteristics of customers that don't come back. Is it that most of them that come back, is it that they are older people, or is it females? You can look at okay, is it that most of the people that they come and they don't come back, they are females. So you look at why are females not coming back to buy from you again? Don't Is it that you don't have a good customer relationship? Then look at other factors. People that what are the factors that are causing this high churn rate? Is it most of them? Is it that they don't have phone service, or they don't have data protection? Depending on the kind of product you are selling, is it that most of them they are owing, or they have a lot of dependents, so they have a lot of things to use money for that they cannot even come back and buy a product second time? Do you understand? So these are the factors you are exposed to. Then you analyze them to be able to recommend solution to the stakeholders or not. So that is the first stage of our data EDA. That's to just check your data overview. Then if I do this now, df.info, you'll see what I'm going to get. df.info is going to give us more information about our data. So if I say something like comment, sorry, just use this one since we are already using this. So if I say data dot info, so can you see what's giving us? So this will give us example like more information about our data. Now look at this column. Now it's telling us that for the customer ID column, it's giving us the numbers, the numbers of customers we have, because customer ID must not repeat itself. It's telling us that we have 7,043 of this customer ID, and this D type. Okay, good. So let's continue. Okay, good. So let's continue. Mm, where did I stop? So I was telling you guys why you need to check your data info, so you will know. Because imagine if you are working with a time series data, and when you do your data info, you are seeing that your column for dates is not dates. That means you have to convert that data type into dates, right? So you can see here that your customer ID is object, your gender is object, your the senior citizen is integer, that's numbers, partner is object, dependent is object, your tenure is integer, which is confirmed. You can confirm from what you are dealing with that. When you see integer, it shows that they are numbers, right? When you see object, object shows that it comprises of both. Most times objects comprise of both string and an integer. Let's say letters and numbers. You get. So this is what is telling that your tenure is integer, your senior citizen is integer, customer ID is object, your gender is object, and so on and so. Your what's it? Which one again? Your monthly charges is float. I'm sure you guys know the difference between float and integer. I explained to you guys in first class that if integer is no decimal point, like it's a whole number. Why a float is like 2.5. That's a float. Why integer is like 2, 5, 7, 10. But a float is like 10.5, 10.9, and so on like that. So that's your data.info for you. The next one we'll do is data.describe. This will also tell you about your data set. So before you go ahead to check your data, before you start doing your analysis, this is very, very important, because this is going to tell you a lot that you don't even know. So now look at this. Now you can see that we only have about 3 columns here. That's because for describe you are checking for mean, median. These are characteristics of only numerical columns. You cannot check the mean of sex, female or male. It's not possible. You can only check the mean of numbers. You get. So that's why we only have like 3 columns here for senior citizen, because these columns, they are integers, they are numbers. So now we can see that, okay, for these columns, the counts, we have 4,043 of senior citizen. So peradventure you saw tenure to be lesser. That means you know that something is wrong in my data. Something is very wrong. Now you are able to see the mean of all the senior citizen as 0.1. You are able to see the mean of tenure, mean of monthly charges. Do you understand? And don't forget, the data set we are working with is telecom customer data. That's telecommunications. So it's like an MTN data. If you use MTN, for those that are not in Nigeria, pardon us. So let's assume I own MTN now. So the kind of data set I'll be expecting from MTN, that MTN has, is something like this. So MTN, they will obviously have our names, they will have our customer ID, they will have our ages. Do you get? They will have they might not really have dependents like in Nigeria now. I mean, we don't do that. So they will have a lot of um of a lot of features, a lot of variables concerning a particular customer. That's why I like the former one I did. That one was more let me do something. Let me say print, yeah, let's say df dot. I want to just so you can see the, yeah, so you can see we have a agenda, partner, dependent, the new phone service. All these are the kind of variables you work with when you are working with a telecommunication data set. You get, you can see we have tech support, streaming TV. That's showing that does this person use their line? Do they stream TV with their line? Do they stream movies? Um, the kind of subscription they are doing, is it month to month or is it 1 year? You can see payment type. Do they pay for subscription through electronic check, or do they mail their check? You understand? Or is it through bank transfer? Their monthly charges. You get, so this is a data set for a communication um, company, right? So like I said, please, if you am rushing too far or you have a question at any point, just unmute yourself and speak up so I can just explain to you. So yeah, so now that I've cleared that, so now when you do your describe, it's going to tell you your standard deviation. I'm sure you guys are aware of what standard deviation means. It's going to tell you your minimum, your maximum. It's going to tell you your 25%, your 50%, 75% of the data set, what they are telling you. So your describe, that if you know what this all these factors means, it can tell you so much. Now, if my mean, now for instance, now my senior, let me go to monthly charges. If my mean for monthly charges is 64, that means I'm saying that means the average monthly charges for of these um all my customers is 64. Now this is where it gets interesting. Now that I know my average, I can go to my maximum. I can see that the maximum, the person that pays the highest number of monthly charge among my customer, the person pays 118.75, blah blah blah. So it's a prevention now. I get a mean of 64. Then when I come back to my maximum, I'm not saying 1 million. That is very, very fishy. Like, why would my average be 64 and there is somebody among my customer that is his monthly charge is 1 million? That means I'll get more interested in this customer. Why is this customer paying a monthly charge of 1 million? Is he a fraudster? You get, is he into this? Why is this person must be very important to? Is, do you understand? So this is how you get information from data set. So also I'll check my minimum. I'm seeing my minimum is 18. That means even though we have an average of 64, the minimum of my customer, someone is still paying as low as 18. You guys understand? This is how you study your data to derive information. Even from this now, if my boss come and say, hey, data analyst, please, what is how much, who pay the highest in the month of June among our customers? Very quickly, I can just come, pam, 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 do my data dot describe. I will know that okay, the highest amount that was paid was 100 and 18. So I've solved that problem. And they asked me, so what is the lowest amount that a customer paid in the month or in the year? And I go like, okay, the lowest amount was 18. Do you understand? So this is how you use your information here to give information to your stakeholders, to your business owners, to your friends, to your company founder, and so on and so forth. And so let's go on. This is just the first one. The second one is, excuse me. So we are trying to we'll go ahead to undo missing data, right? I told you that, guys, you must check. It's very important. You must check for missing data before you go ahead to do whatever you want to do. And how do you check for missing data? We treated this last class. I said you so you guys can be very fast. So now that we've done this and everybody understand, so the next part is to do this. Don't forget, we are using data, not df. Very consistent in whichever you are using. I only did this one to show you guys the whole of the data set. Let me just cancel it. But what we are doing, we are using data.info, data.describe, and so also do data dot is none. The reason why you are seeing this dot sum is to give us the number. Like, just tell me how many missing data do I have in the columns for senior citizen? How many missing data do we have in the column for tenure? Just give me the straight answer. So let me run this now. So you can see after I ran this, I instead of me having true or false, which can be annoying, you start looking for true or false. Now, because I added dot sum means just add all of them, add it together. Tell me the number of missing data I have in my customer ID, which is 0. Tell me the number of missing data I have in my gender, which is 0. Tell me the number of missing data I have with my senior citizen, which is 0. So apparently we don't have any missing data. But let me do something so you guys could know that this thing works. Let's say peradventure I go ahead to tamper with one of my um columns here. Let's say I delete this now, then I save it back. If I come back to my data and I run this, okay, that means it's not. Let me check. I'm supposed to have one. I'm coming. Telecom. Okay. For us to do that, we have to reload everything all over again. So now let's go back. Let's start from afresh. This is the first thing that we did, right? You guys you see that it's going to work now. So come here, check, run our info, run our describe, then we'll come here, check for missing data. I'm supposed to have one, yeah. It's not supposed to give me one. I want to show you guys that it actually works. Come in, let me do something. I don't know if it's not saving. So just hold on. I want to confirm if it's reflecting on the one that we uploaded here. Okay, but while we wait, so what I'm just trying to show you guys is that if paraventure we add a missing value in any of our data sets, it's going to tell us how many of them. It's supposed to tell us how many of them. It's most likely it's not reflecting yet because we've already loaded our data set. So it's going to tell us that we have, let's say, 1 or 2 or something. Some. Let me see if it has finished loading. Okay, I understand why. Okay, I know why. I know why it did not work. I'm supposed to edit the one here, not that one, because I pasted it here. So just hold on. So if I open this now, yeah, I can see this one is still showing nothing. So if I delete this, let's say I also delete another one from multiple phone. I delete this. I delete this from another one. From electronic payment method, I delete this. I delete this. Then I save, right? Then I come back to my program. So I load my pandas data frame. I I check my info. I check my disk drive, and I check my missing data. Now, can you guys see now? Now it's telling me that in partner, I have just one missing value in the column for partner. It's telling me that in my multiple lines, I have two missing values. These are columns. These are columns. It's telling me that in my payment method, I have two missing values. Please, are you guys following? Please, can you guys just speak? Let me just know that if someone is listening to me. Are you guys following what I'm saying since?
Yes, I do. Thanks.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. So let's go ahead. So you understand what I mean? So now instead of just doing this and having true or false, this is can be when you're having lots of data. Nobody has that time. You don't have the time. You are working on that schedule under a time frame. You don't have the time to start checking which one is false, which one is true. So you just do this and add dot sum, and it's going to tell you how many data, um, how many among your data, your columns, how many of your data are missing. So you can now decide what you want to do. Do you want to fill them up? Do you want to remove them? Do you want to do some kind of prediction on them? You understand? There's so many ways to undo missing data. We're going to be doing all of that in this track. Let's go ahead to move to the next. Okay, now let's go to our visualization now. So now so when you start dealing with visualization, there's a library for it, and we've talked extensively on um on NumPy on NumPy library. We've talked about pandas. Then let's look at Seaborn. Seaborn is also another library, right? Then we look at also Matplot library. Matplot library is also a kind of library that, but I don't use it often. I mean, honestly, like if you do this now, it's just another way of checking. You want to check for, you want to visualize your missing data. You don't need to do this. I rarely do this, to be honest. I rarely do this because when you do this one that we just did, you don't have to do this one. It's just there in my slides for. This might give me an error if I don't have Seaborn installed as a library. But let's go on because I like getting errors so we can know. So when you guys see the same error, you know what to do. So it's loading. When you see this stuff here, it shows that it's loading. So what is this its map giving you? You can see it's not really normally it's supposed to give you show you where you have missing data. Normally it's supposed to show you where you have missing data by color, by their coloring. But there, please just ignore this. This is really there are other ways you can use this matplot, but you don't need to use matplot library to check for missing data when you have this. You don't need to. It does not even make sense. So, but then we are going to be treating matplot library and Seaborn. Both of them that they are visualization libraries, and we are going to be looking at all of them in this class. So let's move forward. Please, if you have any question, just let me know. So we can, okay, now I told you guys that we have different means of handling missing data. You can decide that you want to fill your missing data by your mean. What's that? Let me say, let's say I have about 10 missing data. So now after calculating my mean, right? Since they have their mean, I can decide that okay, you know what? I want to use the mean to fill up my missing data. Do you get? You can decide that no, I don't want to use my mean. I want to, excuse me, I want to use my median. Why is that? You look at your median, like okay, we have a lot of numbers that occurred many times. What is your median? Median is the number that occurs. Sorry, median is your middle number. I mean, so you can decide to use your middle number, your median, to replace your missing data. You can decide to use your mean to replace your missing data. You get. So please remember, this is the second step of your EDA. This is when you undo your missing data. So now that we know that we have missing data in our data set, so ahead to let's go ahead to undo them, right? So let me just cancel this first, so don't get confused. I can share you guys this particular file when I'm done, so you can just open it and look at everything we're doing in the last 3 weeks. I think I should do that. I'll share this file with everyone. Um, so now let's look at how we can undo missing data using different methods. So now that we know that we have missing data, where do we have missing data? We have missing data in partner, right? So what will I do? I'll do df okay. I'm going to explain all of this to you guys. Um, okay. Okay. Let me not do this. This is um let me use um we can't use median for this because median is the number that I called it. Let me just do something else. Let me use we can use mean as well. We can use median, but we can use okay for the purpose of this class. Let me just do something else. So let's come here. Let me remove this. Let me remove this. Let's save. Okay. Okay. Okay, so do this. Chop this. Chop this. No, let's not use suppose. Okay, good. So the reason why we got an error before was because number one, I'm trying to replace my missing data for the this is also an error too. I'm not trying to replace this. It should be monthly charges. Sorry. I'm going to explain to you guys what I just did now. Just hold on. Okay. So yeah, so you cannot check the mean the median of partner. That's why we got an error, because if I check my data frame, if I check my partner, where's the partner self? Partners, I'm getting no or yes. I'm getting no or yes. So it's a categorical data type. Categorical, because it's just yes or no. So that's why we cannot find the mean. We can't use the mean in this regard. So what I did here was that I tried to use this monthly charges. I tried to remove two columns. Let's say, for instance, now you're dealing with numerical values, and you have about two values that are missing, and you want to replace them. So you can decide to use the mean of all the values in monthly charges, or you can decide to use the median. If I use the mean now, I'm going to get a different value, but it's still going to run. Do you guys understand? So now if I check my data, to check for missing data now, I'll realize that for monthly charges, I'm going to have 0, because now I have replaced the values in monthly charge. Let me just do that first. This is not right. You guys see how all these errors. This is how you be debugging as well. This is how you be tracing what is happening and why it does not make sense. So what I did was that, okay, I want to make sure that now that we have replaced our missing data in monthly charges with the mean. Well, let me just use the media. I expect that the next time I check for my missing data for monthly charges, I shouldn't be seeing 3 again. That's what I expect. But I'm still getting a value there, which is not right. So let's try and debug it together. And hide this. No, let's do something. Let's try data. They'll do monthly charge. Okay, it's monthly charges. Monthly charges. So I hope you guys are following me. It's monthly charges. So monthly charges. We still have 3 missing values here. So what's going on? Where did we miss it? So we have our monthly charges here. We want to fill the missing value with the median. I guess the issue might be because we did not add, let me see something in place. Let's see if this is working. Okay. Okay, awesome. Now, can you see now? Can you guys see what's going on here? So I should have added this. This is in place. This has to be true in my code. That was why it was not changing. It in place just signifies that I'm saying it should replace them. It should replace them. That's what in place is saying. But I must signify that in place has to be true before it can take effect. So what we did here is that this is when you do data square bracket monthly charges, I'm saying that I am dealing with monthly charges column. Then I'm saying dot fill. Dot fill means I want to fill the values in this monthly charges, the missing values in these monthly charges by the mean of all the values in monthly charges. Please, do you guys understand? Let me go again. I want you guys to really understand what is going on, so you don't just cram code. When you do data dot monthly charges like I did here, it's going to give you all the values in the monthly charges column, right? That is clear. Then when I say dot fill NA is for filling missing value, or for filling numbers that are not there, like none, right? That's when you use this function. This is a function. Dot fill NA is a function. So I'm saying that data open square brackets, that I'm saying that, okay, now I'm dealing with just the column for monthly charges. I want you to fill the missing values in this monthly charges by what? By the mean. You see, everything from here they are one. From this data blah 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 dot mean. So I'm saying fill the missing value with the mean of all the values under monthly charges. Then in place true. That's what we did here, and that's what I did. So after I did this, I ran my program. Then I came back to check if it has taken effect. And for you to know that taking effect, if you look at this place, here we have, for monthly charges we have three missing values. But when we come back here, for monthly charges we are having zero, which means we no longer have missing values in our monthly charges. And that's because I use the mean. Now, what is the mean giving us? The mean of our values in monthly charges is 70.35. That's why you can see that the first three values that I removed here, the first three values that I remove here has been replaced by the mean. Paraventure, I decide not to use the median. I decide to use the mean, right? It still works. I will run this. I'll check this. You get? Then if I want to check the value that was replaced with, you can see I'm able to still check, to still do what I did and replace it with my mean. Do you understand? So that's how it works. Don't forget, median is the middle number, while the mean is like the average of all your numbers. So if that is clear, let's move forward. We are already far behind, and I want to try and finish this class today. So at least let's finish all the steps for EDA. So the next thing we'll try and do for EDA is, like I explained, I said when you are dealing with univariate analysis is, like I pointed out here, is for numerical data, and it's for you to check the distribution in a particular column. For this code now, they are checking for the distribution of ages, right? But we now, looking at our data sets, right, we can decide to check the distribution of um of dependents, right? So we'll see how many nodes and how many years we have. But we cannot use this. We cannot use histogram because sorry guys. Excuse me. Let me just. Yeah, sorry. Sorry for I had to quickly respond to my mom. So so what was I saying? Okay, let me go back to my slide. So I'm talking about why we use Instagram. Instagram, when you are dealing with univariate analysis is just like checking for distribution in a certain column. You want to check their frequency, how many of different ages, right? You want to check for, let's say for instance, you want to check for how many people are 20 years old, how many people are 30 years old, how many people are 40 years old. That's why you use Instagram, and it's basically for numerical data. Numerical data. So for this one now, it might not really work for us. I want us to do for um let me try, let me see if it will work. I know the other one is for categorical. For categorical, that's the next one that we're going to be treating. Next one should be for categorical. Yeah, categorical is when you count. When you count, I want to explain this one first. But I know you can also use histogram for it. You can also use histogram for categorical data. You don't have to. But if you want to use this now, I want to just show you guys something really nice. So you see how you can derive insights from data. I'll show you guys this one. Both of them are univariate. You're trying to see the distribution within your data set. You want to see how many yes, how many no, how many churn, how many non-churn. So if I do this now, and this is a Seaborn library, so it's very important that I import Seaborn as SNS before I use it. If not, it's not going to work. And I want to assume that I have most likely I've installed it before. So if I do this now, I want to count. I want to count the X, the sex. For us now, we want to check for, let's find something. We want to check for partner, right? We want to check how many people have partner. Then our data is data. If I run this now, okay, awesome, good. So what I did here is that this is what we refer to as univariate analysis. So why is it uni? Uni means one. So I'm not comparing between two data frame, two columns. Instead, I'm using just one column. I want to check in one column instead of me start counting. Imagine if they ask me now that, please, how many people have partner? Let's say your boss asks you, how many people have partner and how many do not have partner? So imagine you now start counting. One, two, you don't have that time. So what will you do? You can use your you can carry out univariate analysis, check for how many people have partner and many people do not have partner. Please ignore this. This was the mistake that we did when I made a mistake when I was trying to what do you call it? Replace missing data for partner with the main of my monthly charges. So that was why we still have this. So I'm supposed to remove this. This is the mistake. So just focus on this part. So what this part is telling us that now is that in our data set for partner, there are people that don't have partner, which signifies as no. They are above 3,500, right? And people that have partner, they are below 3,500. So this is how you make sense to your boss that, oh, this person is really know what you are doing. So you can be like, oh, in the last 6 months, about 3,000, more than 3,500 of our customers, they are married. That's partner, right? And less than 3,500, they don't have a partner. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So that's how you use this count plots. I'm counting them instead of me doing it manually, which is going to waste a lot of my time. So I can just use this function. This is a function, count plot. You don't have to cram any of this stuff I'm doing. Just know what you want to do, and you can easily just, probably you have a book, or you can check online and you see your answer there. So this X is like my X column, right? I'm saying now the function is asking me that what should be in my X axis. So I'm saying partner. Let's say peradventure, I don't want to use partner again. and I go back to my variables, which one do I want to check? I want to check for dependent, right? So I can just come here and replace partner with dependent. Did I get the spelling correct? Dependent, sorry, should be dependent with an S. Dependent. So if I run this now, right? So this is awesome, right? So I'm able to see that okay, in this in the dependent column, close to 5,000 of our customers have no dependent. That means you guys know what no dependent that means nobody is depending on them. They are living alone or they are not taking care of anybody or a sister or a brother or a friend. And we can also say that in that same data, about 2,000 of our customers have dependents. So are you guys seeing how you do all of this stuff? How you check things? Let me just copy this so you can also have that. So you can also do for partner here. Um, okay, so now you can see. So this is how you analyze your data. This is how you give reports. This is how you add stuff to your report. That okay, after my analysis, I got to know that about 5,000 of our customers, they they don't have dependents, and about 2,000 have dependents. So am I clear? Please, if you don't understand, we'll finish by 3. I just had to elongate this class so you guys I can at least get to a good point in this class. So I jumped this part. So this one is to check for mostly for Instagram numerical. So let's say let's go to our code now. I will do for one of our values. We'll do for monthly charges, right? Let's check the histogram of our distribution in our monthly charge. So let's do this. So what will you do? Um, we'll import math plots library as PLT. This is just a traditional way. You can decide to import your own in different way. So I can just say PLT because now I'm using the matplot library. PLT dot east means Instagram. Then I say data open brackets. I want to check for monthly charges. Does it have okay, it's together. Monthly charges. What taking down to check? I can signify the number of beans. That's if I want. I can give color as well. Can give color to your Instagram. You can say sky. Can say sky blue. Can say red. Then what again? Let's do this first. Then you go further. You say you can give your title, plt dot title. Then you do this. You can say monthly charges distribution, right? Let's try and run this first. Normally we can also give beans, but if you don't give beans, you can the program or the function might do it automatically. Let me run this. Okay, this is no module name. I love this. This is because I had not installed the library. So how do you install the matplot library? You do this pip install matplots library. So it might take some time. Okay, so that's all. and it should work now. Sometimes you might need to restart your kernel. That's this part. But let me try if it's going to work without me starting it. Okay, I might need to. You may need to restart your to update package. So just come here and restart. Okay. So after restarting it, so oh, look at my mistake. That's coming. PLT. Seems I didn't import the correct library. Matplot library .py plots. Data is not defined. Data is defined. Anyways, okay, I know what's going on. Let me copy this now. Sorry, we're going to end the class very soon. I don't want you guys to be. Okay. I just remember that I restarted my my kernel. So we have to do most of this stuff again. Sorry guys. But I'm sure you guys have learned so much today. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing that you guys have learned a lot today. So let me come here. Because I was wondering why I was getting. Let me just run this. It's going to work. I was wondering why I was getting error. So that was because I had to restart my kernel. So when you restart the kernel, it has lost all your data. So what I just did here, guys, is how you use histogram. I'm trying to check the distribution of my monthly charges. I want to check. Probably why you use it in data analysis, because you want to see which values are very high. I want to check. I want to know how many people paid a high amount and how many people paid a small amount. Now, what I'm looking at here is that because our X column, I can label them. Let me even label them. Let me label them so you guys can see that. I can label my X axis. I can decide to now I have my title. I can say PLT dot X label. Then our X label is monthly charges, right? So I've labeled. So now we are dealing with monthly charges. So remember, this is still under univariate analysis. So now what is this part is telling me that among our customers, right? The people that paid this amount, that's 20, you can see they are about 1,600. That means a lot of people are paying a monthly charge of around 1,600 monthly. Do you get? You get that means about 20 of them are paying this high amount. So if you look at this one, the one that follows, this tells us that between 20 and 40, we have about 200 of our customers paying two 200 of our customers paying between 20 and 40, let's assume dollars, because these are monthly charge, right? This Y column is frequency. I can name it frequency. You guys don't get confused. I can say plot dot Y label, two brackets, frequency of distribution. Yeah. So now this is frequency of distribution. I mean, this tells us that between $20 to $40, 200 people are paying between this 20 to $40. 400 people are paying between this 40 and let's say 50. Video of this one is 50. You guys understand? Let me just stop here today because I've touched a lot of things today. And I don't want you guys to miss anything out. We still have a lot to cover, but let me just stop here. My mouth is paining me too. So, do you guys have any question? Please, do you have any question? Please, do you have any question? So we can, before we go further, do you have any question? Because I would like you guys to practice this. I'm going to share this particular file with you guys, so you can just go over everything I've done today, so you can have an idea of in case you need to go back to what I did. This is not a live stream, so you can go to YouTube and watch the video all over again. And you can also message me if you have any confusion. And I'll also share this particular Python file with you guys, so you can use it to practice as well. But please, if you have any question, so far so good, because this is now data analysis. You've started data analysis. Everything we've done in the last 3 weeks is just preamble. But now you are doing the main data analysis. Okay, good. So please, does anybody have any question on anything at all? Like, if you have any question, please can you just unmute yourself and speak so I can explain to you better. Or probably I must have.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
How do you take notes in your file without the code being run?
How do you what?
Like take notes without the code being run.
Okay, obviously. Okay, let me show you guys. Oh, that's awesome. Like, how do you write comments?
Yeah,
Or
comment,
something?
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay, awesome. Of course. So what you can this particular environment, I'm currently on code. Let's say, for instance, I change this to or let's say, let me go back to the last part I did. Let's say I want to write a comment now before I write a code. I'll just come here and change it to markdown. So whatever I write here now, I can write story that okay, I am currently in the 3rd week of my data science track. Do you get? So this is a comment. You can even run it if you want, but if you don't, it can remain like that. You can run it if you want to run it. But this is how you write comments. You just change it to markdown. You change it to markdown. If I change it to also markdown now, I can write stories. I can write gibberish, and so I have comments. I can write about or if you want to write inline comments. Now this is not in code. I can just come here and use hash. Whatever you write after a hash is a comment. So I can just put, let's say the first one is a function for checking age. I can just write function for checking age. You get? Then I write that if age equals to 12, or sorry, let me just say define age dot score checking. You get? So this is a function now. So I say and I say age equals to 10. I say if age is less than, then print. You are such a baby. You get? So now this is a function now. So you can write a function, you can write a code with still your comment. So just know that whenever you want to write a comment, especially one line, just put hash, right? But if you want to write multiple lines, let me just do this now so you guys can know that this thing exists. If you want to write multiple lines, you do 3 quotes. So this one now, anything you write here is a comment. I can go to my next line, it's still a comment. Go to next line, it's still a comment. Then I must end it with 3 quotes as well. So this is a comment now because I'm writing on multiple lines. But if I'm just writing a comment on a single line, then just put an hash and followed by what you want to say. But if it's multiple lines, you can do this. But if you want to have a specific, like the ones I did here, where I use Markdown, that and that way of writing comments. So depending on which one suits you. Do you have any other question?
Thank you.
Okay. So what of Anna? Do you understand what I explained? And Chini, is it clear to you guys?
Yes, it is. For me, it's
Okay.
settled.
Okay, I'm going to share the file, this file that we practice with on the group chat, so you guys just follow through, and you can also do your own learning as well, because I might not know, I might miss some points while I'm trying to teach, miss some valid points that might aid your understanding. So it's very important that you also go ahead to check what other stuff online, to check videos, to practice, because if you don't practice, you're going to forget. You're going to forget. Most of this stuff is what I did like probably 3 years ago, and so if probably I stopped writing codes, I will not be able to do a lot of things here. So it's very important that if it's just 1 hour, 30 minutes a day you want to use and practice what you've learned, it's going to go a long way in helping you, right? Yeah. So like I said, this class is live, so you can go to YouTube and check it again. And yeah, so that's just all. Yeah, it's live. You can just go to YouTube. I'm sure Lovett is she on the call? Okay, she left already. She's going to share the link with you guys. Lovett is going to share the link with you guys, so you can just use the link and go over the class again. Thank you guys for joining up, and I really wish you guys a lovely day ahead. If you have any questions, you can always drop it on the group chat, or you can message me personally. I will try and respond. Yeah. So have a good day.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Yeah. Bye, guys.